Okay, so one of the sayings of the Insight meditation movement is that if you want to go from A to B, be fully at A, fully inhabit the place you're at. And so in meditation, that's, this saying is for meditation. If you want to go from where you are now to any kind of deepening of the practice, liberating movements of the practice, there is a kind of directionality of this practice. It's onward leading. But the art of it is not so much to press ahead to get somewhere, but to more and more fully be here with what the experience is. And the primary thing that makes that difficult is, for many people, is the wandering mind, the mind wandering off. And so in focusing on breathing, breathing is meant to be a place to ground the attention, to center the attention. The breathing is always continuous in the present moment. And so to be along with the continuity of breathing means we're learning to really be here in the present moment and develop continuity with really being here. And some of that has to do with learning to relax enough to relax into the breath, to relax the thinking mind and relax the forces of distraction, and so we really hear. But also it involves a relaxed alertness and a kind of a turning on of a little heightened sense of alertness, so that we'll notice sooner, maybe right away, that the mind is beginning to wander off into thought, that we're getting lost into the world of thought and involved in it, as opposed to settling in more and more with the breathing. So as we do this sitting, you might see if both we'll do some relaxation, but relaxation can be overdone. Also, we want to kind of turn the light on in the mind, kind of a little bit relaxed, open awareness in the mind, alertness, that we're attentive to catch, there the mind's beginning to go. We're not being tense about it, we're not being forceful about it, but there is a kind of heightened alertness, maybe as a form of joy, delight, gratitude at the opportunity to be attentive, heightened awareness to notice the mind begins to wander. And at that point, as soon as you notice that, to not get involved, to let it all kind of drift away and settle in back into the breathing, back into the breathing. So taking an alert posture, a way of being in meditation that gives you some ability to stay alert. If you're sitting in a chair or in a cushion, sitting up a little bit taller, a little bit straighter than you normally would, just a little bit. And if you're lying down, then perhaps you want to keep your eyes open a little bit. Maybe there's a little more alertness there. Some people will raise their arm, the forearm pointing towards the ceiling, with the elbow resting on the bed or the floor, or both arms. It's a way of having a little bit more intentionality and alertness. So, gently closing your eyes, and begin by settling into your body, to be fully in A, here. It's good to see that it's really beginning with the body. So feeling the weight of your body against the surface that's holding it up, chair, floor, cushion. And relax and let go into that surface. Feel the support it provides. And then feel the rest of the torso especially if you're sitting upright, that's feeling the uprightness, the three-dimensionality, the substance of the torso. Perhaps moving the attention up the spine and feeling how the weight of the body maybe rests on each vertebrae. Maybe making small adjustments to the vertebrae, the spine, so that it really feels like the weight is centered on the vertebrae. You're not leaning too far forward or backwards, sideways. And as you exhale, to relax the muscles of the face, relaxing the muscles around the shoulder blades. Relaxing in the chest and around the heart. Relaxing the belly. It might also be possible to relax the thighs, the tops of the thighs, all the way down to your feet. And then bring together the body's experience of breathing with your awareness. Maybe like two hands coming together to bow, letting awareness come together with the body that's breathing. And center yourself on that experience of the body breathing. And in practicing continuity with the breathing, staying with the breath, it's not so much that you have to force yourself, not at all that you're going to force yourself to stay with breathing. A lot of it is a relaxed returning, beginning again, allowing that coming together of breathing and awareness, reestablishing that contact. And as a form of relaxation in the mind, but also intentionality. See if you can bring a relaxed, heightened alertness, awareness. Which is both intimately aware of breathing, but that will notice if the mind begins to wander off. And if the mind begins wandering off, if you have any choice about it, don't go along with it. Let go, return to the breathing. It isn't so much that you're focusing on catching your thinking, as it is that you're awake in the mind with a broad enough awakefulness that you'll notice when thinking begins. And if you want to get some support for staying with your breathing, you can very gently, very softly and quietly in the mind, you can count each exhale from 1 to 3. When you get to 3, start again at 1. And sometimes that very gentle giving a number, a count to the breathing, helps you stay alert to the mind that might wander off in thought. It's kind of like you're using the thinking mind to stay present, and therefore you'll notice if you wander off. And the counting, it just keeps you also closely connected to the breathing, involved in it. 1, 2, 3. might take a couple of little bit deeper breaths, longer exhales, just 2 of them maybe, to reestablish a stronger connection with your breathing. Remembering to stay awake enough to notice if you're wandering off in thought. And really, you have much better things to do right now than to wander off in thought. You can be here in A, really be present with your body, your awareness, here, this place, the meeting place of awareness and breathing, like 2 hands meeting in reverence for the lived life in the present moment. One of the remarkable recognitions of that life has begun is when a newborn person or an animal takes its first breath. And one of the remarkable experience of someone dying is to witness them taking their last breath. And in between, we often take our breathing for granted. But breathing is central to life, to being alive. We need to breathe more than we need to drink or eat. That breathing is at the heart of what it means to be animated, to be alive. And it's possible to recognize that that's true for others. The miracle of them breathing. The preciousness of life, any life, person or animal that breathes, just like you are breathing, need to breathe. And to recognize the preciousness and value of all breathing life, all people. To recognize it through the understanding our own breathing and the value of our life. And may it be that as we get more and more centered in meditation, more deeply connected to ourselves, more centered on ourselves, more intimate, that it teaches us the tremendous value and preciousness of all beings, for all people. Just as we are precious deep inside, so are others. And may it be that coming out of meditation, that we live that way. May we have the intention to live respecting, revering, honoring the preciousness of life of all beings. And may we live this day where people feel our presence, our attention, our care is here to support and help improve the lives of other people, so that all beings may breathe freely, breathe with ease, breathe with happiness and kindness. May it be that what we learn in meditation is taken out into the world for the betterment and happiness of all beings everywhere.